we're doing Chapter 8, Political Parties. By...
Me.
Connor, no longer with us.
Me.
Jimmy.
Me.
Next slide. No one's doing this slide. I got it. Okay.
Oh.
What is the meaning of party?
What is the
Sounds
meaning of party?
like a Kesha song, but it's not.
What is the meaning of party?
Definition of political party. A team of men and women, equality, seeking to control the growing apparatus by gaining office in a duly constituted election.
Boom.
Definition of political party.
Much disagreement within the party. Difficult to lead.
As shown.
Difficult to lead.
Tasks of parties. Pick candidates, make candidates, run campaigns, give cues to voters, and articulate politics. That was pick candidates twice, guys.
It must be important.
Thanks, Connor.
Parties have full-time staff, rules, and budgets.
Many officials and leaders. They keep the party running between elections and establish the rules.
Representatives, public opinion, but different to go from opinion to public policy.
Oh, that word was difficult. Next slide, Jimmy. Oh, you did it.
The
Okay.
Downs model.
Ooh.
Like this. It
Doesn't
more
that looks
the
like it's going up?
model.
Yeah.
But- okay, it's rational choice theory. The Downs model.
Which one? Rational choice theory. Explain political processes and outcomes as consequences of
Purposive.
purposive behavior.
Purposive.
What is this? Purposive.
Purposive? That's an actual
What does
word.
it mean?
You know that.
Downs argues that voters want to maximize the chance that policies they favor will be adopted by the government.
Parties want to win office, and in order to do so, parties must select policies that are widely favored.
Different methods of attracting votes. Kissing babies. Calling opponents mean things. Etc.
Oh, you know the
Successful
usual.
parties stay in the midpoint of public opinion.
Mid.
Success.
Down, but up actually. Differences between parties are not many, but very important. Republicans favor lower taxes, less domestic spending.
Democrats want to help working class and less advantaged Americans.
The party in the electorate.
In America, there is no formal membership to a party.
Instead, in American political parties,
In
America, political parties consist mostly of symbolic images and ideas, and political parties are mainly psychological labels.
each voter has a party image, which is their own perception of what each party is and what it stands for.
Such as pro-life with conservative and pro-choice is liberal. Continued. Party images help shape people's party identification, its self-proclaimed preference for Democrat or Republican, and the same as the party people usually vote for, which really means in terms that mean sense. It's the party people usually want for themselves.
Okay, trends for party identification. The amount of Democrats have greatly decreased since 1964, like their morals. Independents have become more a popular option.
Here's the crazy thing. If independents are the people who do not identify with a political party, so these voters normally are involved in ticket splitting, or voting for one party or for one office and then voting for another party for their office. Just like here. He voted for Republican, but then it's like, for senator, I'm going to vote for a Democrat. He split the ticket.
That
Crazy
sounds
man.
like a vocab word.
Ticket splitting.
I don't know who this is.
Those last
Cut.
two are mine.
Okay, so party organizations. Local parties are these. So, one of the key inducements used by party machines is that is a promotion or contract that is given for political reasons rather than for merit is patronage. And then the party machine is a type of political party organization that relies heavily on material inducements such as patronage to win votes. So an example of this, of a party machine that uses patronage, would be the Chicago machine, because what happened in Chicago was the mayor was a Democrat, and a lot of other cities and states wanted votes, obviously, for their candidate to win. So they were like, oh, we'll just give out a bunch of jobs so that you will vote for us, and you have to give us 5% back of your income but like in the form of a donation towards our party. So in Chicago, they gave out 40,000 jobs in exchange for 10 votes, and on election day, 5% of the salary was given back to the Democratic Party, because that dude right there, the mayor of Chicago, was a Democrat. And they were like, finally after a little while, they're like, oh, this is bad because monopolies. And as ethnic integration occurred in the big cities, regulations towards voting became more strict, and then they were like, you can't just buy votes. Yeah.
There's a meme. When the man you voted for starts to embody every negative stereotype of his political party. That stinks.
Okay, and then also continue this. The 50 states party system. So, this is highlighted. Pay attention. Closed primaries are elections that people have to register in advance with the party so that they can vote for the party's candidate, thus encouraging greater party loyalty. This is like in just more like smaller voting systems, like in your like state and stuff. And then open primaries are elections where voters can decide whether they want to participate in voting with either party, like Democrat or Republican. So that's like on the election day for presidents. And then blanket primaries are one where like a person can vote in any category and for multiple people, like everywhere. And then national convention is the meeting of party delegates every 4 years to choose a presidential ticket to write a party's platform.
Party's platform.
So basically, the candidates for the president and vice president. Yeah. And the national committee is institutions that keep a party operating between conventions. I said between twice. And the national committee is composed of representatives from the states and territories. So, yes. And then the chairperson is basically like the person who takes care of everybody. They're like a secretary who gets people stuff. And they're like handpicked by the presidential nominated by the president. But they really, all they do is they're like organizing his stuff and taking care of them, and like I said, they're kind of like their secretary, and they just run around and get people stuff.
Wait, the meme. Oh. Who came first? Chicken or eggs? Is that what it says?
Or the egg.
Aliens. What does it even mean?
Oh.
Okay. Understanding political parties. Listen up. The formation of political parties to contest elections was one of the first steps towards democracy in formerly communist Eastern European countries. Remember that. Okay. Due to candidates' lack of ability to express their plans once elected, and then once they were elected to follow up on the responsible party model, this was the reason that the responsible party model was formed, was because they couldn't follow up and they couldn't do their plans, and they basically sucked at their job. So, responsible party model is 4 steps on how to govern, basically, telling you what to do, because apparently it's really difficult. 1. Parties must offer specific comprehensive programs. 2. Each candidate must be committed to its program and have the understanding of discipline the understanding and discipline to carry them out. 3, majority party must implement its programs, and the minority party must state its plans once or if in power. The 4th one, majority party must accept responsibility for the performance of the government. So it's like, oh, we sucked. Oh, it's my fault. There's a meme, so I'll read it to you. There's no better party than a non-political party.
Independent.
Oh, so funny. Okay. Yes, vocab. Okay. How should we govern? Okay. Most candidates are self-selected, gaining nominations by their own efforts rather than a specific party's. So as a result of this, former Grand Wizard of the KKK. Yes, you heard me, Grand Wizard. Huh? Okay, yep, anyway. David Duke. Remember, David Duke. Became a Republican nominee for the governor of Louisiana. So, yeah, he was self-selected, obviously. And, I mean, who would really want a former Grand Wizard of the KKK representing their state? I mean, that's kind of weird. Anyway, and due to America's, like, everything is kind of really disorganized. Due to that, there is no mechanism, parties to discipline their office holders, ensuring cohesion in policy making. Parties can help the candidates raise money for like committees and like raising money and stuff, but they can't. What they can do is they can't deny them parties' nominations at next elections or take away congressional staff support. Also, the absence of a national health care system in America is an example of the lack of discipline and cohesive European-style parties. Absence of national health care system in America. Okay. Okay. So, actually, Britain proposed the health care bill in 1945, and it was passed. But Truman, after his first election, after World War II, proposed it, and everyone was like, no, like, that's dumb. And so it wasn't passed. And even, yeah. And then Clinton's tried to do it, and it still wasn't passed, so people didn't like it. Which is kind of an example of, like, and even though he had the election and the majority, he still didn't make it, which kind of, like, represents, like, how, like, disorganized and, like, crazy everything is. Doesn't really, okay, anyway. Yes. Okay. So, last but not least, the key problem for American political parties is that they are no longer the main source of political information, attention, and fiction. Which, I mean, we all know the media is like the big boy now, and it really easily twists words and opinions of the candidates, and so like the candidate can say something, and then the media's like, how can we make that sound horrible? And then they do it. So that's pretty much like the biggest problem in political stuff right now, and also the fact that it's really disorganized, and the creators of the responsible party model, or like the critics, say that it's becoming way too diverse and complicated, and so like even the political party model that they made isn't even going to work for politics anymore. So
It's rough.
not good. That's not a word.
The end.
Okay, party eras in American history. That word was eras. Party eras are historical periods in which a majority of voters cling to the party in power, which tends to win a majority of the elections.
America is a two-party system and always has been.
Just the parties have changed over time. Critical elections, new issues emerge, majority party is displaced by the minority party, which is marked by a national crisis normally, so like the Civil War or the Great Depression, that critical elections occurred.
Party realignment is the displacement of the majority party by the minority party.
Beginnings of political parties. Federalism is the shortest-lived political party and was replaced by the Democratic Republicans.
General Andrew Jackson founded the modern American political party, founded Democrats that stood for broadening political opportunity through getting rid of elitism.
And the Whigs only existed because they opposed Democrats rather than having any opinions of their own.
Vote Whig.
Whig.
They couldn't possibly be worse.
I don't know. I just Googled wigs. I mean, that was a lot.
The usual.
Republican eras. Republicans became the anti-slavery party, which is that was the first Republican era, and wink, and soon became strong enough to get Abraham Lincoln elected. A critical election.
The second Republican era was based on the gold standard issue. Republicans were for keeping it.
Republicans like gold.
The gold standard, also flour brand, I think.
Yay.
Next. Okay, Roosevelt and the New Deal. Roosevelt promises a New Deal when previous President Herbert Hoover said that nothing could be done by the government to help the Depression. Another critical election, by the way.
Urban dwellers were Republican, turned Democrat after the New Deal.
And labor unions were supported by FDR, the first president to support them. What?
Franklin Delano.
Yes,
Roosevelt.
Delano. That's his middle name.
Delano.
Delano.
Did you say Delano?
I thought that's how you said it.
Eleanor Roosevelt is his wife.
Anyways,
That's how you said
for drawn to Roosevelt Republicans.
My life has been
Go,
changed.
You need
Okay.
to say that one more time.
The reason for the Democrat Party being the clear choice for decades was the New Deal coalition.
Ah, that's a wink, right?
Excellent.
Continued Eisenhower to today.
Power shifts to Republicans with the election of Dwight Eisenhower around World War II.
Nixon markets to conservative Southerners and converts them to Republicanism.
Nixon's election was also significant because it was the first time that both houses of Congress did not line up with the president's. That means one was Republican and the other was Democrat. I don't know if that.
Divided.
I don't think this was from Nixon's election, but this is the idea.
Dividend party government.
Dividend party.
Divided.
Divided party
Divided.
government continues until Obama's reign.
Yes.
Party de-alignment is the gradual disengagement of people and politicians from the parties. From the parties.
Now, Jimmy.
Oh, that was a sneak peek.
The party in government, promises and policy. Voters are often attracted to a party by its performance and policies. What a party has done in office or what it promises to do influence who will join its coalition, a set of individuals supporting it. Some politicians do what they promise, some do not. For example, Lyndon Johnson promised to not involve the U.S. in the Vietnam War, but he did. And an example of a politician who kept their promise in office, Ronald Reagan, who promised to step up defense spending and cut back on social welfare expenditures, but he ended up delivering these promises during his presidency. Parties have often done a good job over the years of translating platform promises into public policy. Third parties. A regular feature of American politics, and sometimes attract the public's attention, but are often overlooked, are third parties. Electoral contenders other than the two major parties. There are three basic varieties of third-party contenders. Some promote certain causes, some are offshoots of a major party, Democrats and Republicans, and some are an extension of a popular individual with presidential aspiration. Third parties are important because they serve as safety valves for popular discontent. The winner-take-all system is whoever receives the most votes in the election wins. No award for second or third, so it does not work like the Olympics. There's no medals for second and third. Alright, in my meme, welcome to the United States of America, where everyone complains about Democrats and Republicans, but never vote for third party.
Summary. So remember, political scientists see political parties as an important part of the American government that are a key linkage between policymakers and the people. In each party, there is a party in the electorate, a party in the organization, and a party in the government. America has two party systems. American government is decentralized in nature. And remember, God made you special and He loves you very much. Bye!